the news.
All right, Mike. Now, I know that you said we had a different sponsor for this.
Brand new.
Yeah, brand new. Okay, let's hear it.
So this episode of the Coin Show podcast and the news is brought to you by Coasters, celebrating 250 years of protecting furniture this year. When was the last time you used a coaster?
I don't use coasters.
Well, maybe you will now. Maybe they'll send you some samples.
That'd be nice.
250 years, man. That's longevity.
That is.
Let's see. So, I know what I need.
You need to get the news pulled up so that we can.
It really is helpful if I have the news. So, the first ever silver dollar coin minted by the United States has been sold at auction.
I saw this. I heard that it was going to sell. Actually, I hadn't seen that it sold, but I saw that it was going to.
At least we think.
Maybe.
Right. So Great Collections has purchased the coin for $12 million in hopes that this is the first coin. And the fact is that we'll just never know.
You know, that seems like a kind of a large gamble on a hope. So
it sounds to me like they're just assigning the fact that we're just going to call this one the first one.
Okay. Yeah, why
when
not?
you figure out how they determine this, it makes sense, but it just that in and of itself is kind of anathema to coin collectors. So
Right.
According to the Coin Week article, only about 140 of the 1794 silver dollars still exist. So this is the only coin that's graded as a specimen by PCGS. So if not the first coin, it definitely came from the first few.
If it's not the first, it's definitely the finest.
Oh, absolutely. And it's been graded specimen 66 by PCGS and CAC stickered.
That's a cool coin. Have you ever seen that coin? I think I've seen that coin before at one of the shows.
I don't know that I have in person. I mean, the coin itself is just, absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, beautiful coin.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if in the upper right-hand corner about 10 o'clock or about 2 o'clock, if those are adjustment marks.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes, they are. Most definitely adjustment marks. When you see those early coins like that, especially the first few years of dollars, they had to get those blanks exactly the right weight. And if they were heavy, they would actually just take a file to the blank and just back and forth until it weighed what it was supposed to, and then they would strike it. And because of the kind of primitive technology they were using, those marks didn't always get wiped out. So that's why you see these marks on early coins. The quick and dirty on adjustment marks.
Sure. And I mean, they bring interest to a coin like that. So, yeah, I mean, look, in my opinion, is it the first coin? We'll never know. And it will always kind of have that big question mark hanging over the top of it. So I think that this is, it's something that'll need to be resolved given the nature of collectors.
Well, as soon as they get those time machines, you can just hop on in and go back and find out. So
sure. Then you can tag that coin. You can look at the adjustment marks.
Yep.
And mark them.
Yep. I'll adjust it myself.
Yeah. The Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee has a new chairman.
Oh, okay.
So Dr. Lawrence Brown has accepted an appointment as the new chairman of the CCAC. The chairman of the CCAC is chosen from the membership of the committee and serves a one-year term. Now, Dr. Brown was appointed to the CCAC in 2019, representing a member of the general public. He is CEO of START, S-T-A-R-T Treatment and Recovery Centers, as well as Clinical Associate Professor of Medicine and Healthcare Policy and Research at Weill Medical College at Cornell University. He is also a Vietnam veteran.
Sounds like a smart fella.
Yeah, and all around just, well-rounded member of the public.
There you go.
I want to be a CCAC member. I think member of the public is probably the best way to go.
Well, yeah. I mean, I still think that you, sir, should apply for that position when it comes available.
Sure. I've got a lot of chance of President Biden appointing me.
You never know. You never know.
I say, you're playing with my ego. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, well, got to play with something.
Yeah. Submissions for the ANA Young Numismatist Literary Awards are being accepted through April 1st.
All right. I love these things.
3 age groups will be awarded as in years past, 8 to 12, 13 to 17 and 18 to 22. Guidelines can be found at the ANA website at money.org. Submissions previously published in the Numismatist will not be accepted.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah. So, but the ANA Youth Literary Awards, get your name out there, get your work out there, start working as a writer as early as you can.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Better at it.
I think that's one thing that this industry needs is more people that can put words together in any format, whether it's in a book or online. I just really think that that's something that I have noticed lately. There's not that many of people out there that can coherently string thoughts, especially numismatic thoughts, together. Now, there are quite a few, but we need more. So if you know a young one that's interested in writing and also interested in numismatics, definitely have them apply, have them send in their work.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's prizes to be had. The thing with writers is that, I mean, truly, it is the more you write, the better you get.
Yeah.
Words are important. Words are something that I've always played with. I kind of fancied myself as kind of a writer. I don't really think that I have that gene. I do kind of feel I have a way with words, but I don't necessarily have the way of writing like a writer does.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm a coin guy. That's about it. That's all I'm. Yeah. It's like the one thing in this world I'm good at is being a coin guy. So, yeah.
So the submissions are being accepted through April 1st, and guidelines can be found at the website at money.org. The United States Mint has released the reverse design for the 2022 Native American dollar.
Okay.
Now, I want your thoughts on this before we expound on it.
So this was I think we saw the mock-up version of this not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's recently been publicized.
I think we thought that it definitely looked like him in the mock-up, but the translation to coin I don't think worked real well, because let's look at the mock-up here. Let's see if I can find it. It's right here. Here's the mock-up. The top right picture, if you guys, let me make sure you guys can see it. So the top right picture was the mock-up, and looking at a picture of the gentleman that it's supposed to be of, it definitely did look like him. But if we get back to this image here in the story, what's going on with his lips? Like,
he's got a mustache. He's got.
No, I know, but underneath the mustache is a set of lips that looks very peculiar. In this, I don't even know if this is a rendition as well, or if this is from an actual coin. It kind of looks digital, but it's tough to say. It's very, very strange looking compared to what I thought we were going to get. But that's how these things work. We get the mock-ups that look really nice and have a lot of contrast, and then once it translates to a coin, a lot of the times you lose the parts that kind of that at least in the mock-up brought out the finer details, and I think this coin looks really strange.
It is my thought that, excuse me, it's my thought that depth and shadow they don't work the same with metal as they do with drawing, right?
Sure, for sure.
So, I mean, it always is going to have that kind of difference to it. There are some things that look better in coin than do in drawing.
Right. Like I think birds, like eagles' feathers look really cool on a coin, and in a drawing they really don't. But
you know what? I think it has something to do with our perception of human faces. Because the human brain is just wired to notice faces. We notice it in everything. If you look at your car,
right.
Your car has a face for a grill. It's all these things that we're just hardwired to do. And so that's what always looks weird. It's always the two-eyed Jefferson peering at you. This one looks at you weird. And yet when we do buildings, when we do birds, when we do other, items, they seem to work well, and they tend to look the way they do.
Did you ever go to Disney when they had the robotic president? This guy looks like one of those robotic presidents where it kind of resembles a human being, but it's really, really weird. And that's kind of what this thing makes me think of. So, yeah, I don't like
it. It's also just a bit
stiff.
counterintuitive to be looking at a Native American dollar and seeing somebody in an army uniform.
Yeah, and especially because I believe he was Native American, if I remember correctly.
Oh, no, he definitely was.
But in the back of this coin,
Indian.
in the back of this coin, he looks like an old white guy. So, yeah.
And in many of the drawings, if you go back down to the art, he doesn't.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah, he was a Tonawanda Seneca, and his name was Hosanawanda.
Wow.
That's what's on the coin, right?
And a lot, even in a lot of the mock-ups.
Although, interesting to note, it's like his contributions to the growth of the United States as an expert communicator, right, helped to save countless lives of both Native Americans and settlers.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if he is as big a hero to the Native people as he always will be seen by U.S. citizens, as he helped to transition natives to life on reservations.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Even better. So
Yeah.
not only does he look like an old white guy, he helped transition the natives from their land to reservations. Oh, boy.
Yeah, so to me, this has a little bit of a tone deafness to it.
Well, that's why I don't care about modern coins, Mike. That's just one of the reasons.
Look, you're going to step in a few minds when you do real people on coins. It's going to happen. And I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to get us sued. But I mean, I'm being very serious. It's like, it sometimes sounds like a really good idea, or sometimes they just kind of pick names out of a hat.
Yeah, or somebody didn't do their homework. Wow.
Yeah. So that's who's on your 2022 Native American dollar. Thank you very much, U.S. Mint.
Dear U.S.
Dear U.S. Mint. They are going to hate us.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they do already. It's all right.
That's cool. At least they know who we are. If you have not had the chance to see all the designs for the new 2022 Women on Quarters, here you go.
Oh, cool.
So coinnews.net has kind of teased us with the headline of images and release dates, but then goes on to say the Sally Ride quarter will be released March 22nd, and that's the last date they give us.
Well, I mean, at least they're giving us a date, and that seems to
the
be
rest
in
of the
line.
design. So if you haven't seen the detailed line drawings, here they are, have at. But it's, I mean, the headline says images and release dates. Well, they did give us 2 dates. They gave us the release date for the Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
The Sally Ride.
Well, and the thing is, at least the release date of the second quarter seems to be, in March, seems to be in line with them releasing them every couple months and getting them all out. So, okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I just don't know how many times we could cover these designs.
Well, yeah.
We've covered a few.
Yep. I agree.
Okay. The United States Mint had another banner year of coin production in 2021.
You don't say.
So the Mint created over 1 billion coins in every month last year from February to November.
Wow.
Typically, December is a month of retooling for the next year's coins, but not the case for the U.S. Mint last year, as they produced nearly 1 billion coins while retooling.
That's a heck of an operation. I mean, it is literally a coin factory. So, the fact that they're able to produce 1 billion coins while getting ready to start producing 1 billion more coins that are different. Yeah, I mean, that's a heck of an operation. And I never do fault them for their ability to produce coinage. We make nice stuff, coin-wise. But it's amazing some of the things that we do make that are very, very strange.
Hashtag kudos U.S. Mint.
Yeah. Hey, if I'm going to beat on them, then I've got to give them a little pat on the back too.
Absolutely.
So.
I'm with you on that. So maybe the lack of 3 extra quarter designs helped.
It's possible.
But we have a new quarter program that starts this year, so we'll see.
2021 was an interesting year for coins. I mean, I think we got a boring quarter program with a really cool commemorative dollar program with the Morgan Peace dollars. The proof sets, there's not much to those.
Well, Well, good, because they didn't make that many of them.
Yeah, yeah. And for people that collect them and want to, squirrel away something that might be better in the future, okay. But
Yeah.
and
That means people have to care in the future.
yeah, looks like we're still making half dollars. Don't know why. Yeah.
Oh, what's worse is they are making them for circulation this year.
Well, it's because nobody. They were all in change drawers and change jars, and
We give them out.
you give them out at your work.
Yeah.
Well, I do too if I have to.
We give out $2 bills. We give out 50-cent pieces, Native American dollars, presidential dollars.
Yeah. Well, I mean that I do too when I'm running short on $1 bills.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool.
So I mean, man, the U.S. Mint just keeps on ticking. They just keeps on
Well, that's their job.
producing more and more coins.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into the political side of it. I don't want to start pontificating on some things out there that may or may not be true. But yeah, okay. I mean, that's all I can say.
Okay, let's leave it there. America's neighbor to the north has released the latest in a series of coins commemorating Black History Month.
Okay.
So according to the Coin Week article, the Underground Railroad, the famous network of safe houses and secret routes that helped enslaved people of African descent escape to freedom, the design is really different and takes a second to really see and appreciate.
It is very strange.
Well, here's what you have to do is you have to kind of figure out the perspective. You are looking up from the ground.
I was going to say, it's like a fisheye lens on the ground.
Yeah, showing the people and the sky. The Big Dipper is highlighted as it's one of the main constellations that was used by fugitive slaves to guide them northward. So you have the drinking gourd, which is what they called the Big Dipper, and here's a group of people that are walking through the woods and just trying to get through.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting concept. I don't know how well it translates. Like if you looked at this coin without knowing its subject matter, would you have any idea what that is?
Probably
like,
not.
Help those poor people stuck in a cave with trees.
Well, no, they're not in a cave. That I think is pretty obvious, but no, I get you. It's like, okay, so what are they doing? Where am I? Yeah. But I think if given enough time and looking at it, maybe you would figure it out.
Oh, I mean, I understand that. But when I look at a coin, I think, okay, if I did know what this coin was supposed to be about, would I be able to understand what this coin is about?
You wanted to beat you over the head with some legend saying celebrating the Underground Railroad?
Well, not necessarily, but I want it to convey that I am looking at the Underground Railroad and not a fisheye view of from the ground and the Big Dipper and a bunch of people,
Sure.
It's peculiar.
I think that what they did was they made the choice to go artistic rather than graphic.
Yeah, all right.
Right? Not necessarily telling you what they're showing you, but just giving you a visage.
Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that answer.
Okay. Our friend of the Coin Show podcast, Ken Brissette, has a new book.
Cool.
Yeah, so Brissette may be best known as editor emeritus of the Red Book, but he is also an expert on ancient coins and specifically coins of the biblical era, and has written several books on the subject.
Nice. Well, that's a very popular era. I know that we get several people, a month coming in, you got any coins that are biblical in nature? Do you have any coins from that period? And we try to keep some like widow's mites and the common stuff,
portraits of Christ and stuff like
that.
Sure,
yeah. The Byzantine stuff.
We have that stuff. We have a window for it. I think Harlan is really funny. Because he'll come downstairs and he'll have a Byzantine coin, which usually has the Virgin Mary on one side,
right,
and Jesus on the other, right? And he'll come downstairs and he'll go, "Oh yeah, I got another one of the Jewish kid for you." It's just him teasing, and it's funny. So
that's funny.
Anyway, so his Coins of the Bible was first published in 2005. And has had several updates, as well as his other work, Milestone Coins, a pageant of the world's most significant and popular money, which has sections on ancient and biblical coins as well. So this book,
they give a little preview of it. It looks like actually an interesting book. If that's something you're interested in.
Bible Lore and the Eternal Flame, a numismatic, historical, and archaeological trip through biblical times.
Yeah, I mean, that's super cool. I may have to get myself a copy of that.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think of him as Red Book guy, and I tend to think
Yeah.
of him more as biblical coin guy, because he really does. That seems to be his bailiwick.
Hey, Red Book guy.
Yeah. Red Book. I am Red Book guy, and then Dennis would be, I'm Mega Red guy.
Oh man, the coin nerd superheroes. I love it.
There you go. We've created the new superheroes for the coin nerd. Whatever we want to call it.
Coin nerdism
Universe.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
The nerdiverse.
Yep.
And finally in the news, our favorite show of the year, the Central States Numismatic Show in Schaumburg.
Yep.
Has announced the redesign of the bourse and an addition of 80 new tables for 2022.
Well, that's what happens when I submit a bourse application. They're like, oh man, we really made it now. We need to add more tables, because I'm actually setting up at this show for the first time in a long time, and I'm really excited about it. I'm just glad to hear that they're adding more tables. I love it.
Yeah, this is going to be the largest show in Central States Numismatic Society history.
There you go. That's a good sign for the market.
Table. And we are, as always, going to do a meet and greet.
Yes, for sure.
Because we love doing it, and it's in my hometown. So Matt's here, I'm here. Why not? If I'm here and you're here, doesn't matter our time.
And I'm thinking that we should probably do something awesome from the floor of the show. Like maybe we'll do a live show from the floor of the Central States Numismatic Show. That'd be fun.
We'll have to see what we can do. Maybe we can. Maybe I could get Aaron to come over and we can have some fun.
Yeah, I could. Everybody's in the room. We could literally get all sorts of people to come hang out with us. So yeah, that.
Oh, we should see what we can do.
It's all going to depend on what kind of internet connection we get. So yeah, we're working on it. We've already discussed it a little.
Which, look, most coin shows take place in auditoriums and gyms, so it's like the Wi-Fi connection there is horrible.
Yeah, well, and in a big convention center, they usually have better internet, but everybody's using it, so it's not necessarily great for streaming and doing live shows. So we might just have to record some stuff. But either way, we're going to put out some content from the show. I'm really actually excited about that more than the show itself. But yeah, I'm really stoked.
We have some listener questions. Well,
we got to wrap the news up. You got to tell us who it's sponsored by again.
So that was the news. And the news tonight was brought to us by Coasters. Let's see. Celebrating 250 years of protecting furniture this year. When was the last time you used a coaster?
You're listening to the Coin Show Podcast with Matt Dinger and Mike Nodelman.